Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
And a happy Monday to you. What an absolutely beautiful weekend that we had here in Metro Detroit. And the basketball, it was just so good. So good. I mean, I'm sure everybody's bracket is busted at this point, but it doesn't matter. We still got our challenge going on, and there's some interesting people in the top 10. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, welcome inside the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. To my right,
it's Corey, but you're a little chipper for somebody who's not going to win $500K.
That's all right, man. The perfect bracket I wasn't really going for. I wanted that PS5, baby.
Looking like you might get the toilet.
It's looking like I may get the toilet. And to my left,
Joey there. Good morning. How are you?
good, man. How was your weekend, Joey?
It was awesome. It was a good weekend.
Good weekend. We got Alex in producer land, Fish over there, making sure we sound great on the air today. So let's get into it, man. I mean, there's just so many places to start with the NCAA tournament. Where do you guys want to start? I mean, can we start with Oral Roberts?
That's probably the highlight of the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it was the highlight of the weekend on Friday when they kicked the shit out of Ohio State. And then yesterday, they took care of business against Florida, beating them 81-78. The second 15 seed to ever reach the round of the Sweet 16.
And this is their first time in the Sweet 16 since 1974.
Damn.
They got to win it this year now. They have to.
That was their that was their first tournament win since 1974, wasn't it?
I think so,
Yeah.
But
47
it's been a long time, but that's the way this tournament has been, man. We have seen upset after upset after upset, and I like it. How's your bracket looking right now, Corey?
It's non-existent. I mean, you know what? Half of my Final Four is still alive because I had Kansas and Michigan.
Okay.
Let's just not talk about the rest of it. It's
Yeah, Illinois kind of screwed me. Joey, how's your bracket looking?
I haven't
over there?
looked. I looked like around 5 o'clock yesterday, and I was so disappointed that I haven't even looked yet. The good news is I still do got Michigan and Baylor, which were two of my teams that were set to be in the Final Four, still alive. But
Nice.
Besides that, West Virginia was my biggest disappointment.
That whole part of my bracket is absolutely destroyed. Just destroyed. I had Illinois coming out of that region, but I still have 3 of my Final Four available. So Michigan, Gonzaga, and Baylor still in the mix for me, which is good. But I had Illinois winning it all, which is bad. So
Hey, I mean, Illinois couldn't have. They didn't know they was about to go up against Sister Jean in that prayer.
oof, man.
I mean, did you see the prayer?
I did see the prayer.
I mean, and here's if you guys didn't see the prayer, here's the actual prayer that she said. As we play the fighting Illini, we ask for special help to overcome this team and get a great win. We hope to score early and make our opponents nervous. We have a great opportunity to convert rebounds as this team makes about 50% of layups and 30% of its 3 points.
Oh, she's breaking it down.
Our defense can take care of that. Illinois, in that game against Loyola Chicago, shot 44% from the field and 28.6% from beyond the arc. So
What I love is she just doesn't come and prey on the team. She actually knows some stats, and she gives a little breakdown to the whole game, and it all came true.
she's coming for the coaches.
And she's got a hell of a stiff arm. Did you see this video? Adam, are you doing producer right now? we gotta see this video real quick. It's Sister Jean. She's beating the hell out of Illinois.
Oh, I mean, come on, like we everybody knew a team from Illinois. We was going to be in the Final Four. Just we didn't think it was going to be.
There it is.
I mean, oh,
there's Sister Jean with that mean stiff arm.
101-year-old stiff arm.
Oh man, and you gotta love it. Like you said, like not only does she have the prayer, but she breaks down statistics during a prayer. So shout out to Sister Jean. Probably the worst part about getting beat by a Loyola is not getting beat by Loyola. It's when their fans are dancing in the stands. Did you see like them trying to do the whole pass it to the next guy in the stands?
That was bad.
I mean, it's bad, but it's like, dude, this isn't supposed to happen, so let them do their thing.
There we go. Oh, pass it over to you. Pass it over to you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hey, that was a nice one, though, right there.
No, none of these are nice.
That
man.
one is not nice. I'm glad the video froze. Just freezes. Right here. Bam!
Dude. You imagine, not only are you the #1 seed in the country, like you're going up against a school that's in your hometown. You compete against them not only on the athletic court, but recruiting. I'm sure all those kids at Loyola wanted to go play ball at Illinois. Then to lose to them, and you turn around in the stands, and that's what you see.
Hey, that was just, I like to call that rhythmless nation.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, that was horrible.
I mean, not a good look for white folks. I got to be honest with you.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Hey,
Could be one black dude in the middle or something. Damn.
Yeah, just somebody that can actually like break it down. Then all of a sudden you got these stiff kids like
the
they're not
dancing
trying to do
usher.
the robot, but they did the robot.
I don't know what the hell that was. They need to not ever do that again. And if they do it again, just make sure no cameras are present, because you don't want your kids. Some of y'all gonna have kids. Don't want them to look back and find that footage of y'all being stiff.
Yes. Yeah, and some kid's gonna put that up on his Instagram too. Like, I made it.
Oh, they're about to be a meme.
They're about to be
GIF,
a meme.
whatever.
Well, Loyola won 71-58 over Illinois. Like, it wasn't even a contest, which shocked me because I was hype about Illinois going into this tournament.
I gotta say that everything that I talked about this entire March Madness was wrong. Pretty much every single thing, and the biggest of it being that the Big Ten is going to be the division that just destroys it. And if you're playing the Big Ten, watch out. No, if you're playing the Big Ten, congratulations, because you're continuing in this March Madness.
Yeah, it's not even close. Big Ten, and I tweeted that out yesterday on our Woodward Sports Twitter, like, is the Big Ten overrated? And at this point, how can you argue? Like, they didn't even make it through the first weekend, only Michigan, really, and that's yet to be seen.
Ohio State laid an egg.
Illinois
laid an egg.
Rutgers out of it.
Purdue.
What's up, Fish? What you got, man?
6 of 9 Big Ten teams lost.
Yeah, that's not good statistics, especially when you're the toughest conference in the country. Like, this is like the SEC in football showing up and never winning the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, with them having the most teams that, in the conference, they were going to eventually have the most eliminations at, but nobody thought that early.
Right.
I mean, come on, the first couple of rounds, like,
I won't lie, though. First round, seeing the 15-seed Oral Roberts beating Ohio State in overtime, that felt good.
That did feel good.
Yeah, I mean, because we're in Michigan. Who loves Ohio State here? That was anytime you can see Ohio State get their teeth kicked in. It's a glorious sight. It's a beautiful thing. It's just like your favorite breakfast. You're waking up and you smell it in the morning. That's what it's like seeing
it's like
Ohio.
bacon in the morning.
Yeah,
man.
That's what it's like to see Ohio State lose. But then when you saw all the other Big Ten teams start to lose, it's like, all right, this is getting a little spooky, and it makes you wonder. I don't know what the hell Michigan's going to do tonight versus LSU. If they lose, I think right now the conversation is valid of, is the Big Ten overrated? Because like you just said, 6 of the 9 teams are lost so far. But if Michigan or man, what am I think?
Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland, not Maryland. If Michigan loses this game, like in any kind of fashion, like whether it's close or not, then you got to really say they're vastly overrated, the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, Michigan is the last hope for the Big Ten. They have to pull strong, and we're going to break down that Michigan LSU game coming up. But, I mean, we just kind of clowned on white people for dancing in the stands.
That's what I'm talking about. Iowa. Michigan or Iowa lose.
Iowa, yeah. Luka Garza's still the man.
Still alive.
Can we give a shout-out to the goofy white boys who had a great weekend, though, this weekend? I mean, it seemed like every time I was turning on the TV, some ugly-ass, unathletic dude was just dominating the NCAA tournament. Did you guys see Tanner Groves from Eastern Washington?
Dude, that dude looks like a caveman.
Dude, he looks like Abraham Lincoln. And, the announcers were talking about this. Play that video real quick, Alex. The announcers were talking about how they look like Luke Walton and whatnot.
It's finish. Groves at the free throw line got the first, and we were talking about the look.
That Jackie
Go up, big man. Get it in there.
Jackie Moon's a good one, too.
Walton as a trailblazer and Tanner Groves as an Eagle.
A striking similarity. Of course, with Jacob Bros, you've got the Napoleon Dynamite look as well.
Knew that was coming.
And Napoleon Dynamite. So there you go.
How is he 21 years old? That's my question.
That guy right there?
21 years old.
Well, 7 years ago, he was born.
Yes.
And he started chopping down trees, and he wears a piping hat.
It's just crazy to me. That guy's birthday is in 1999.
No,
Baby.
They're lying.
They're lying.
They're lying.
They're lying.
Just like Langford. They're lying from Michigan State.
Everybody know Langford is lying. He's about a hot 35.
So he had a big weekend, and then another crazy-looking white boy to have a good weekend, Baylor's Jackson Moffitt. Have you seen this guy? Please tell me you've seen this guy. Look at that.
That's a clean look right there with that nice, clean mullet.
Beautiful.
No,
Downriver's finest.
You look like Jeff Foxworthy with that haircut.
And he got the bolt, though, right there on the side.
I was going to say, not only did he choose to go mullet, he chose to accentuate the mullet with the lightning bolt, and my God, what an amazing performance he had for Baylor this weekend. Like, the kid can ball, too. That's the worst part about these types of dudes. They show up on the court, and you're like, it's just like white men can't jump. Like, give me the chump. And then all of a sudden, dude is balling out on you.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to talk about any of these guys because I was never that great to play college basketball, but at the same time, if you getting your ass kicked by a dude with that mullet and a lightning bolt, you need to sit down.
Yep.
Your card is gone.
It seriously hurts a lot more than getting beat up by a guy you can expect to beat you. And then the hero of the weekend, I mean, this guy totally exploded on Twitter and everywhere. People were calling him Farva. People were calling him all types of things. I tweeted out that he's the dad bod god because he is my new favorite player. Locking up defenders from Illinois. His name is Cameron Krutwig. Have you seen this dude?
Oh, is that what?
Dude,
the mustache.
That is physical superiority right there.
It's just like you look. That's the kind of guy that you look on that court and it's like, all right, this guy for real. But the dude could ball out.
He was literally locking up their point guards. Like at the end of the game for Illinois, he had a strip that went off their leg to kind of secure the game.
Man, he looks like he know how to make an amazing pizza.
Amazing pizza?
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He look like a pizza man.
Okay.
He look like
I mean, I was thinking more amazing meth, but whatever. Do what you got to do with the pizza. But here you go. Don't judge a book by its cover because those three roll out, and oh my God, you got problems.
It's just crazy when you look at this entire tournament because every single year the March Madness definitely catches you by surprise on a few of the things.
Right.
But this year it feels like every single game there's something that just tricks you and it's like, this guy just whooped our head. This guy just locked down our best offensive player.
Right. But it just goes to show you, man, that, once you get into these tournaments and stuff like this, it's not only about the talent that you have on your team because you may have talent for 1-2 years and they're gone. But like Loyola Chicago, they've built this roster. These guys are playing together for 3 and 4 years. And, you talk about like the 04 Pistons, how they were a team and able to beat the Stars. That's what we're seeing a lot this year in the NCAA tournament. I mean, I'll admit I was dead wrong. Well, not dead wrong because I still have 3 of my 4 Final Four teams in it by saying, I'm taking all chalk this tournament because it's been anything but chalk this tournament.
And Loyola Chicago, I will say, they're starting to not become that bad of a school. I mean, they finished first place in their conference 3 of the past 4 years. Just in 2018, they made the Final Four.
Yep.
So they back in the Sweet 16. I don't know if they're gonna make any noise, but I did read something like they're like one of the 3rd best favorites to win it all now.
No, really?
Like I don't know where I read that at. I want to say it was off DraftKings. Maybe they may have had a typo or something.
Yeah, Joey, can you look up the lines for now? Who's favored to win the national championship? Because if Loyola Chicago is that high, I mean, damn.
Yeah.
That just says a lot for who's left. There's no way they can be that high with the 3 number 1 seeds still left. No way.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking like maybe they might have had a typo when they sent that out.
They had to have. A lot of people cashing in on it, though. Yeah. Then if you want to get to another small college that did the big upset, Abilene Christian, man, beating Shaka Smart in Texas. And Shaka Smart, He's in a world of hurt down there in Texas. I mean, he left a great program, but this is the guy I wanted to highlight for Abilene Christian. Riding the bench, but look at the ultimate hype man that you've ever seen. And his last name is Heupel, which you got to love. He's hype just all the time. Look at this guy. Flexing, veins popping. He's ready to go. Get this dude some playing time.
I mean, if you're riding the bench, that is supposed to be your job during this time of the year. You're supposed to be getting those guys hyped, so by the time they come back to the sideline, they're there. They're lit. And
Can you play that again, Alex? Sorry.
that ending was pretty funny.
Right, the horns down. But yeah, that Joey, we tweeted this out too, and Terry Foster was like, "Oh, is that Joey?" He called this guy full court.
I was like, how'd you know that I always used to ride the bench first off, Terry? Because that's the messed up part. You're supposed to look at me and say that, oh, man, you must have been a ball player on the court. But no, Terry saw right through all that. You got to love that, though. That's what makes a difference right there. Look at him.
And then at the end, horns down, baby. Like, that became such a huge thing over the weekend. He's like, let's go. Let's go. We did it, y'all. There's always that one guy on the team that celebrates harder than the biggest star. And, you know, you got to love the horns down there at the end for Abilene Christian. And I didn't know that Abilene Christian was in Texas, too. Because when I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, Texas had a really rough start to this tournament as well. Texas Tech went down. Texas obviously went away. So it's been a rough tournament for the state of Texas as well.
And the state of Ohio, because we talk about Ohio State losing in the first round. Imagine how that state feels that Ohio is the only team left representing their entire state.
I'll tell you what, Ohio didn't give a shit. They threw a ton of shade at Ohio State because of it.
And they deserve to do that.
Right. It'd be like Oakland talking trash to Michigan or Michigan State. But, hey, they're in the tournament. They're winning. Ohio State is not.
Hey, so I looked it up. Loyola Chicago's actually not third. They're fifth.
Fifth. Wow.
So it's Gonzaga, Baylor, Houston, Michigan, Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago's went from a plus 4,600 to a plus 1,250.
Houston's ranked over Michigan?
Houston almost lost, too.
Damn. I don't know about that. Houston barely got out of the first round.
Gonzaga's a plus 180, Baylor plus 370, Houston plus 850, and Michigan plus 1,000.
All right. Well, that's a look at the rundown of where Vegas has the odds of winning this championship. I like that the number 1 seeds are at the top. That's where they should be, but I don't see how Houston, a number 2 seed, could be above Michigan. Well, we'll find out. I mean, Michigan's got to win the game that's in front of them tonight. And before we move on to talk about the Michigan LSU game tonight, just one more highlight that I wanted to get to, Texas Tech and Arkansas. Whew, man, this is another one of those tough last possessions where it's like, this is the only play you got. The point guard is just dribble the ball into ground, take his man one-on-one. Wide open layup, missed it.
But you can't knock the play.
You can, man.
That's an athletic dude. How do you miss that? You had him beat on top of that, and you're going to let him – come on, man.
I just hate this, like – I just hate how there's no set offenses for these last plays of the game. Like, literally, we saw it with Michigan. We saw it with Ohio State. We're seeing it here, too. Just pound the ball into the floor and let your point guard try to make a play. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the whole letting the point guards go ISO in some of those situations. Like, I'm with you on this one. I wasn't with you. I wasn't with you on the
Michigan one.
The Michigan one. I thought that was a good. I thought it was a good decision. I didn't like Mike Smith's shot.
Right.
This one right here.
Yeah, at least he's going to the rim.
Yeah, just I don't know. I think there could have been a better shot than that.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty clean layup. And to me, he did, like, I don't know if adrenaline got a hold of him and he just threw it off the damn backboard like that, because that looked like me going in for a layup lefty.
Like, oh, someone's behind me.
Just throw it off the backboard. But either way, Texas Tech did not pull the upset over Arkansas, and Texas Tech now out of the tournament. So hopefully your brackets are doing okay. I mean, if you go to our bracket challenge that we're doing with Hall Financial, do you guys want to know? Tony 328 is sitting at number 1 right now with 37 points and a potential 84. You know who's sitting number 2?
D-Day.
D-Day.
Who's D-Day?
Dawn Day.
Dawn Day.
My mom is sitting
Get
number
outta
2 in
here.
our brackets right now.
Get out of here.
Dude, she called me last night. She was like number 5, and she was 7 and was hype about it. And then after last night's game, she got bumped up to number 2.
Dude, she got 3 of the 4 teams right in the Final Four so far. That's amazing.
And then coming in at number 3, we got Coach Free. And then tied for number 3, we got a couple people too. Flobo and then Todd Askew. Those are the top 5 right now in our bracket challenge. All those people are in the running to win a prize, except, I don't think my mom can win, but I'm glad to see Mom up there. It's embarrassing that she's beating my ass in brackets, but I'm glad she's up there.
That's amazing. Adam was, to start the weekend, he was the number 1 seed.
Yeah, my mom pointed that out last night, too, because he was like sitting 7 last night.
Yeah, now I can't even find him.
Now he ain't on the list. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the matchup tonight. Obviously, big things on the line, Michigan and LSU. We'll talk about that coming up in about 15 seconds.
An ounce at Michigan dispensaries is over $300. Why pay that when you can grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down over 48 ounces every harvest. Do that math and then come see us at Grow Green, where we have everything you need to start growing and a staff of master growers to help guide you. Click growgreenmi.com.
Welcome back to the Woodward Show right here on the Network, Detroit's all digital sports network. Thank you to everybody dropping comments in the chat right now. We appreciate you. We see you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you guys so much. And everybody that downloaded the app for free and is listening to their app in the car, we appreciate you too. So the big game tonight, it's all on the line. I mean, it's one and done. If Michigan doesn't win, their season is over. Michigan versus LSU, 7:10 on CBS. Michigan right now is favored by 5 points. Over under 148.5 on this. If it was 48.5, I'm definitely taking the over. But 148.5. What are you guys looking forward to see tonight out of Michigan?
I'm looking forward to seeing a big game from Hunter Dickinson. He's the biggest mismatch of this game for LSU. They don't have anybody that's going to be able to match up with him, so hopefully he'll be able to keep his fouls under control and just really impose his will on them. I will say this. They do have their work cut out for them. They're going up against Cameron Thomas. He's 4th in the nation in scoring, 22.8 points per game. In the past 6 games, he's been right exactly at that number. They got Trent Wofford. He's averaging 16.7 points and 7.4 rebounds. But Wofford, he's been kind of shaky the past couple of games. He had 11-11 in the last game, and then he dropped 30-8 against Bama. But then he had 9-7 the game before that. But then the game before that, he had 24-7 versus Ole Miss. So his past 4 games has been good, bad, good, bad. So depending on if he steps up and if Thomas steps up, Michigan is going to have an interesting night. But I believe that they'll be all right. Dickinson's going to come out. He's going to have a really big game. He's going to have to. And I think Michigan's going to go ahead and win this. I don't want to say handily, but they'll impose their will throughout the entire game.
That's a scary thing because you talk about Isaiah Livers being out, and with Brandon Johns stepping in and filling in for him last game, I mean, he looked real good. The biggest thing now, though, is like we were talking about Shawnee Brown stepping up, and he didn't really do much. He actually didn't even put a point on in 16 minutes on the court last game. So that was definitely something that was a little bit worrisome. But we're all talking about the big primary focus being Cameron Thomas, who, like Corey said, 4th scorer in NCAA, and that guy is balling out. Dropped 27 in the first game of this tournament. So we definitely got to contain that. That's going to be a number 1 focus.
Yeah, I mean, you guys both kind of stealing my thunder there. Really, outside of Cameron Thomas, I'm not really concerned about anybody on the LSU squad. We just need Michigan to kind of concentrate on them and concentrate on Cameron Thomas. And if they can lock him down, I think they're going to have a really nice time tonight against LSU. But locking this dude down, little easier said than done. As you can see, he's got, he's kind of got that Steph Curry range. He's a solid player, but, he's the guy you need to focus on if you want to beat an LSU tonight. Coming into the game, LSU is averaging 82 points a game, so you know they can score the rock. The problem with LSU is they have a problem stopping you from scoring, too, because they're giving up 75 points a game. Michigan, on the other hand, they score 76 points a game, and they only give up 65, so a little bit better defense for them, a little bit stronger. The guy for me for Michigan that has to have a big game, definitely Hunter Dickinson. Like we talk, it seems like we say that every single game because he's always their biggest mismatch. But Hunter Dickinson needs to have a big game tonight, and really not points wise. I'm talking more about dominating the glass and dominating the paint area. Because if you can keep them out and spread them out and make sure they're shooting 3-pointers, I think we got a good shot.
And we can't afford the foul trouble too.
And he should have a big game because LSU is a small team.
Yeah,
So,
super small.
Yeah, so they should definitely be good. But in addition to Hunter, I'm looking for Brandon Johns Jr. to have a big game. He's gonna have to step up if Livers out. It just is what it is. If for Michigan, he would need to be somewhere between, I want to say a 17-5 game. That might be asking quite a bit for him. But look, it's the tournament. People are gonna have to step up. Mike Smith has elevated his play of game. Hunter Dickinson is going to elevate his play of game. Johns Jr., this is his chance. This is his moment to prove his worth. Somebody else in that Michigan team is going to have to step up. They've been talking about next man up this entire time. This is crunch time right here because, I mean, we of course, if they lose, they go home, but they do not want to go home this early.
No. You cannot go home this early. And another guy that we haven't mentioned is Brooks for Michigan. I think he's going to be kind of the X factor in this game because it looks like defensively that's who he's going to be matched up against the majority of the game is Cam Thomas. And so that's a lot of pressure to put on him. One good thing that we are hearing, though, is earlier in the tournament it was Livers is not coming back at all for the entire tournament. Now we're hearing maybe back for the Sweet 16. So you don't want to look too far ahead and past LSU, but if you can look a little bit ahead and you get your number one player, it's tough to call him the number one player.
I would say he's the number one difference maker on the court.
Yeah. Your glue guy.
How do you guys think we played without him, though?
Not well. I mean, look, they weren't able to dominate teams they were supposed to dominate. You know, the first round win against Texas Southern, it was nice, but it's what you're supposed to do. So you never get credit for what you're supposed to do.
This is going to be the real test to see what they look like. If they come out tonight and play a really good game against LSU, I'm not saying they got to blow them out. They just have to play sound, convincing basketball. If they do that, then we'll see what they're really made of. To 6 point, they were supposed to blow out Texas Southern. Just look at the spread was. The Vegas doesn't lie.
Yeah, they didn't come close to that 27-point spread, though, man. I was shocked. I don't know who would take 27 points. That's just so many points. Yeah. But either way, they did not cover the spread, but they did beat the hell out of the guys with short shorts.
Yeah.
Those shorts are way too high.
It's the look in Texas, I guess, man. They're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, I can't get with that look. That's a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, and it's funny, seeing them go up against a team that, you don't want to say invented long shorts, but Michigan made long shorts trendy.
Oh yeah, they definitely popularized it with the long shorts, the black socks, the black sneakers.
What about one guy we haven't mentioned this entire time while talking about Michigan? The biggest difference maker we've been having, Franz Wagner.
Yeah,
he was kind of quiet.
Yeah, him and Mike Smith need to step it up. Mm-hmm. I know we've just mentioned pretty much the whole starting five that needs to play well, but to me it goes, Dickinson, and then you got Smith, Wagner, Brooks. Like that's how they all need to step up in that order. Wagner, you just never know, man. He could put up a triple-double today, and it'd just be like in the flow of the game. It's not like he'd ever take it over.
He's streaky.
Yeah,
he's very streaky, but when he's on, and hopefully he's on tonight because they're gonna need as many players to step up tonight as possible because I believe if they get past LSU, then they should be able to get to the Final Four. I don't want to say easily, but it should be not that bumpy of a road. I don't think.
Right. Yeah, man. How do you think State's feeling right now, too? Looking at what their road would have been.
If they were able to get, if they were able to get past UCLA, I had them going to the Sweet 16 before all of this. If they would have won that game, who knows? They might have been able to sneak in their way into the Final Four with just how everything is playing out, because it's just been such an unpredictable tournament. Like,
right.
you can't even really go into these and use logic, because logic went out the window this whole weekend.
Our good friend Justin Spiro said it felt like Michigan State lost 3 times this weekend.
I mean, seriously, if they could have just gotten past UCLA, they really, I don't know, I'm not going to say up here they would have had a chance to win the national championship, but they would have had a chance to do something.
And a much easier road than most. Like, that's what I'm focusing on is, damn it, that whole side of the bracket opened up wide open for them to kind of face Michigan in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, oh my God, that would have been so amazing.
Yeah, well,
so amazing.
We didn't get it. UCLA, not only did they beat Michigan State, they went on to win yesterday too, so they're moving on. It's just wild that, one game could change the whole trajectory of the tournament too.
And you see what Russell Westbrook did to Cassius Winston?
Yeah, made him wear his jersey?
Yeah, so I guess they had a bet going on, and UCLA, where Russ went, beat Michigan State, so he had to wear that UCLA, I believe it was a hoodie.
Damn. So Michigan LSU playing tonight, 7:30 on CBS. I'm sure all of us will be nice in our couches by that point watching the game. Excited to see that tonight. I got to give a shout out to my people at Levels. It's the provisioning center, a.k.a. dispensary, that's opening up in Ferndale coming up next month. And I cannot wait to get inside there, show you everything that they have done, just how beautiful and how clean it is, and how just trustworthy the people that run it are, which to me is the most important part. You like to know where you're getting your product from. You like to know that it's in good hands, that it's not just grown in some dude's basement. Like, they have a beautiful warehouse where they're growing, and Joey and I went out there last week or 2 weeks ago, and absolutely stunning what they are doing. The cleanliness is unreal in their grow room. So make sure you hit up at Enjoy Levels on Instagram and go to enjoylevels.com. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for Joey's News.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's News.
Let's go.
Gotta talk about a bum to start the Woodward Sports Update this hour. And the bum, his name is Blake freaking Griffin. Dude, this pisses me off so much. You see him right here on this beautiful defensive play. But look at that effort. Blocks and then runs up court. And then this one is what really pissed me off the most. His first bucket as a Brooklyn Net. A freaking dunk, held onto the rim like he was 21 years old, still smashing Kendall Jenner.
You know, a couple of things I noticed here. One, Blake looks like he dropped about a hot 10, 15 pounds. Like this, he looks a little bit slimmer. Second, he looks a lot more agile. Like out of nowhere, those 75-year-old knees are now 25-year-old knees.
You lied to us, Blake. You lied to us.
And 100%. He dunked for the first time in 2 years, and he got up there, held, came down, bounced up on the knee.
It looks smooth as hell, man. He looks smooth as hell. He looked like Blake Griffin.
These knees look brand new on there. And I'm like looking at him the whole game, like this is not the Blake. And the way he sabotaged Detroit, where he starts playing horrible, injuries, sitting out left and right, reduces his draft capital like crazy, his trade capital like crazy, and then he goes to one of the best teams. And listen, we all know this is what he wanted. We all know, but it's just don't do Detroit dirty like that. You haven't dunked since 2019. You're going to have your first play be that? Come on.
You know what? I want to see how he plays over the next couple of games, because you know what, Blake is known to have a really good game coming off of a few weeks break or a few games break. I want to see how he plays over these next couple games. If he plays well, like even halfway decent, he fleeced us all.
Yeah. What are you going to do, man? I mean, the guy knew he wasn't going to win anything here. Why would you put in max effort and waste your body? I get it. You're getting paid millions of dollars, so you probably should honor your contract. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm disappointed. I'm not hurt by it. I was just like, what the hell ever, Blake Griffin. Like, really, you're going to pretend that you can't dunk here for 2 years, and then your first play, not only did he dunk, Joey, what I loved about it is he faked a three-pointer and then went in for the dunk.
In Detroit, that would have been a sure three-pointer.
Oh, that would have been a brick at 20% going in, and we would have never seen had him go to the lane. Like, ugh.
Let me see. Hold on. I have to pull this up. I'm sorry. I don't want to sabotage Joey's news real quick, but
please do. If it's something hating on Blake Griffin, we'll take 20 minutes on it. I hate Blake Griffin so much.
They play tomorrow, and they play Wednesday. Look, if he and hold on, they play tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday. Oh, they play the Pistons. They play at Pistons this Friday. That's gonna be great. All right, look.
Over under 2 dunks for Blake.
Damn, you stole my thunder.
Oh, sorry.
If Blake has more than 2 dunks the rest of this week, I'm saying he finessed it. It's a staged. If he has more than 2. If he has 2, fine. More than 2, staged.
What you got, Fish?
What if he chooses not to play on Friday?
Then he's a bitch.
I mean, he already did. He already did choose to not play the first game against the Pistons,
or the first half of the season for the Pistons.
Do play like 2% of the games this entire first half of the season.
It's just trash when you do that, man. Well, you pretend that you're hurt and then you go out there and dunk all over people. But what are you gonna do? He ain't our trash no more.
Do you see the parallel what just happened? Come on, think about it.
Blake's a bitch.
No.
Oh, what else?
Think deeper.
Kenny Galladay? Is that what you're saying? Is that the parallel?
2 Detroit stars did not play because of their injuries and both bolted to New York.
Yep. I see it now. Yeah, Kenny Galladay, at least he got the bag. But
I'm so mad. I'm so mad
Blake
he's still
got the
getting
bag.
that money.
Blake got the bag, too, just in the bio.
Yeah, we paid him, and now they pay him $1 million to dunk. He wouldn't do it for $20 million here, but he'll do it for $1 million in Brooklyn.
I'm getting paid. I got paid $62 million to leave the Pistons and then go collect an extra $1 million. What I'm probably going to put on my condo I'm renting for like 4 months.
All right,
that's the other one right there. Kenny Galladay, obviously securing the bag over there, getting his $18 million with New York Giants. What I am so pissed about, because I wanted nothing more than him reject this offer last year and then get like $12 million this season. But he's getting his $18 million that he denied with us. And then on to March Madness, a quick little recap because we just spent some time on it. Stick, you said it so best on Twitter. Can we just restart brackets in the Sweet 16? It's where we need to be right now.
That's how I feel, man. And but everybody's in the same boat, so you gotta love that. At least it's not just me sitting here with a busted ass bracket. But
it's
damn,
all of us.
I'm just regretting picking Illinois. Like, that's my biggest regret of my entire picks in the bracket, because I had some good upsets picked. Like, I took Maryland to win.
Yeah.
I took UCLA to win after they beat Michigan State. Monday I called Oral Roberts beating Ohio State. I didn't take it, but I at least thought about it.
So you took the other team, but you said that other team would win. So you're 100% secure on that one.
Yep, that's how you hedge your bets, Joey.
So it all started with number 15, Oral Roberts, beating Ohio State, the number 2 seed, by 3 on Friday in overtime. Then went on to win yesterday against number 7, Florida, by 3, heading to the Sweet 16. First time since 1974. And there was just so many upsets in this weekend, which led for some great basketball. And today, number 1, Michigan taking on number 8, LSU at 7-10. So at least there's one team that we love left in this bracket. So good luck to the Michigan Wolverines. Rookie LaMelo Ball expected to miss the rest of the season.
Ouch.
With a fractured right wrist. And I feel so bad on this one because he's been balling out. I've honestly become a big fan of this guy.
Really?
Yeah, man. He's been playing, possibly Rookie of the Year status.
Yeah, well, he may be a good player, but he's never going to be better than his dad's a dick.
For sure.
Like, how good? He'll never be good enough to make his dad not on my shit list.
Yeah, that's one thing. The Ball family ruins it, but you can't hate on the Melo's game.
I know. I try to individualize, but
You
still
can't.
at the same time, it's like, no, your dad's an idiot.
Yep. It's just like Blake Griffin. If he were to have a kid to ever play or anything like that, I'm going to hate the hell out of that kid. Sorry,
Blake
but that's true.
Griffin's kid.
You have to. Dad did that to you.
That is deep, man.
It's deep, but it's
That
like
is
that.
deep.
Bum-ass Blake. Local news here. Today is a big day for high school spring sports as they set to kick off in Michigan today. So there's some good news that I'm really excited about because these kids got to play, man.
Yeah, there's been some weird things going on. I was actually able to be at the Martin Luther King Detroit Pershing game this weekend for the city title, and they've kind of restructured how they got to do COVID testing for all these kids. Like every kid has to get tested before they play, and if one kid gets negative, it's pretty much going to shut down the whole team because of contact tracing. So there's a lot that these kids have to deal with, and they're talking daily testing for these kids too.
Do they still have to wear masks while playing?
Yep. They're still masked up
while
playing basketball. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
I don't get that.
No, I don't get how these kids like have good games too. Like that's the thing. You know, if I ever had, sometimes you get pissed when you're playing with a hat and you take your hat off and whip it because you think that's the problem. Like imagine having a bad game and you got this stupid mask on the whole time while you're touching a ball and throwing it to another person that's sweating and touching a ball.
Do masks fall off and break a lot throughout the game?
No, I mean everybody's been really good with it, and even if you watched, our Instagram story afterwards about when they were celebrating, everybody was masked up.
Yeah.
Even the parents standing on the court taking pictures were 6 feet away. Like, everybody's doing their part, but it's just, I couldn't fathom being a high school athlete trying to play with a mask on, but it's better than not playing at all.
And that's what it comes down to.
Right.
I mean, they know that if they're not following the rules, then they're just going to shut down the entire league, and they've done that for way too long, so don't shut them down. I just wanted to give a quick little shout-out to Crumble Cookies because Crumble Cookies is the new favorite place that we talk about. It's the best cookies that I've ever had, and this week they will be making a visit here to our Woodward Sports Studio, so don't hate no more, you guys. Crumble Cookies off of Rochester Road in Rochester Hills, right there next to the Imagine Theaters. It's just a place that I got to tell you, just go try it for yourself. You won't regret this. They're so delicious that I want you to go try them for yourself.
Yeah, the best cookies I've never had.
Seriously, that should be the slogan for you two. The best cookies you've never had.
You know what? I'm going to have to wait for a while on the cookies. I need to lay off of them.
You had a bad weekend, Corey?
No, I actually had a good weekend, but the scale said otherwise.
That's the worst. That is the worst. Like, you're doing the best that you ever could. You're excited to go step on that scale. And then
I got humbled.
Dude, muscle weighs more than fat, Corey, so that's clearly what happened. You just beefed up.
Yeah, beefed up, okay.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the biggest injury to happen in the NBA in 10,000 years. Well, that was according to ESPN over the weekend, so we'll talk about that coming up next.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. This is the Morning Woodward Show. We got Corey up here, Joey, Alex, and Fish. And the biggest news outside of the NCAA tournament this weekend, LeBron James may miss some games. And oh my God, has the world collapsed? It's ended. ESPN doesn't know what the fuck it's going to cover for the next 3 weeks. Like, who are they going to talk about? They're going to talk about Schroeder? Like,
LaMelo Ball out too on top of that.
LaMelo Ball is out. Yeah,
it's tough for them.
They're struggling. Alex, let's watch this video clip of how LeBron got injured, and this is a weird sprain.
You know what's crazy?
Look at that.
When it happened, I knew I knew he was messed up.
Yeah.
Like I knew he wouldn't. Like, a lot of people try to say, like, sometimes he kind of like does the most in acting job, and I ain't confront.
Not sometimes. He does.
He does the most when he flops, but that right there, when I'm like, ooh, that look good.
Yeah, and it's weird because normally, like, I saw someone equivalent that to like a offensive lineman in football when they get rolled up on from behind. Like, that's not like a normal sprain where you come down and you just, like, turn your ankle a little bit. It's literally somebody rolled up on the entire back of your leg, and that, I'm sure that was at least 200-pound man rolling up on it. Like, that's oof.
Luckily, that was kind of like to the side of it. Like, if it were to go straight in, he would have been done.
Right.
Yeah, it was still inverted though.
It was.
I mean, they said he's out indefinitely. I think, AD is coming back in like the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm thinking Brown might miss, honestly, probably about a month.
And where do you think that leaves them, though, in the West? Because right now they were, before the injury, they were sitting tied at second with the Suns, 2.5 games back. I mean, do you think over the next 3 weeks that they're going to fall out of playoff contention? We saw this happen how many years ago? 2 years ago?
2 years ago,
yeah.
2 years ago, they were the number 4 seed. LeBron went out with the groin injury, and they dropped out of the playoffs. They went to 11. With no AD, they were already kind of trying to just still hang on. Now you're going to go through a stretch with no AD, no LeBron. This could get really, really spooky for the Lakers. And do I think they fall out of the playoffs? No, I don't. I think that AD might come back. Probably he might come back a little bit sooner, just to kind of like help steer the ship. Maybe. I don't think they rush him, but I think they might fall down to somewhere like around 7-8-ish. But
they could miss the playoffs, man.
It really just depends on how long those guys are out. But no LeBron and no AD, it's about to get real spooky in LA. And honestly, this really looks like Brooklyn might be the odds-on favorite to win this whole thing.
Oh, they should be. They're
Especially
a super
now.
team.
I mean, it's just really hard right now. The way they're playing right now, James Harden is playing like the MVP. As much as I hate to say it, since getting to Brooklyn, he's taken his game to another level. Like he's like almost damn near uncheckable.
Yeah, and not only has he done that, look at what happens to the Rockets when he left. Like 20 losses.
I mean, he did say we're not good enough chemistry-wise. We don't have enough to win. I don't like how he went about it. I still think to this day how he went about leaving the Rockets was trash. To his point. But he ain't lie.
Right, he gone.
What feels better? James Harden leaving and seeing the way that the Rockets did without him, or Tom Brady when he left Patriots?
You got to go. I mean,
he did win the Super Bowl, but
he got the ring.
20 straight losses.
If we're just comparing regular season, I would say James Harden, but he got the championship.
I think. So you're saying which one is better?
Yeah. Who would you rather be, James Harden or Tom Brady?
I mean, I'd rather be Tom Brady. I mean, off the simple fact that you guys, my former team and coach, pushed me out the back door, and I went to another place who didn't win, who hadn't even made the playoffs in forever, and I took them and went straight to the ship. James Harden, James Harden hedged his bets really well, so he feels good. But until he gets that ship, it's still, I don't want to say null and void, but it's still incomplete.
Yeah. No, I mean, anytime we're talking championships, baby. That's why we play the game. But it is. I think both are sitting back having a real nice time watching everybody else suck while they're winning. So
it's just crazy though. I mean, like back to the Lakers, you talk about this team without LeBron James, and then Anthony Davis. Like who else have they got? I mean, Kuzma, Schroeder,
and apparently they're looking at bringing our boy Andre Drummond to L.A. There's been lots of rumors about that.
If they get Andre Drummond, I don't think that helps them like stay number 2 in the West at all.
It gives them a chance though, at least winning some games.
That I will say. I think that's what I was going to go to. If they get Drummond, that could just help them not fall out the playoffs, because I believe with Dennis Schroeder and the rest of their teammates, they'll be good enough to do that much. Also, I'm curious to see where LaMarcus Aldridge goes. He's supposed to get a buyout.
I heard he's supposed to go to Brooklyn too.
So,
gosh,
right? If they get Aldridge too,
right?
I mean,
all-star team.
Hey, Brooklyn is just loading up. It's just kind of funny because about a decade ago, KD was like, everybody wants to go play for the Lakers and the Heat. What happened to just beating these guys? Now everybody's running to go join KD. So it's funny how the tables have turned.
My. No, but everybody trashed KD for going to the Warriors, saying that he couldn't get it done by himself, and that's why he ran to them. But now, like you're saying, people are coming to KD knowing that that's that dude. Like, I need to play with that dude.
I understand why people didn't like KD going to Golden State, because it was just like, you knew what, barring injury, We all knew what was going to happen.
I know, but here's my thing with KD. Like he was playing for the Thunder, right? And they just weren't getting along, and it just wasn't a happy home. And you're looking across the street to like a house party going on every single night, just fun, just a wide open offense, and you're like, damn, I want to be a part of that. And that's why he went there, man. He went to go play with the best, and I don't really knock KD for that.
No, I knock KD for what he did more than LeBron. KD lost to Golden State 3-1, and then immediately went and jumped and bandwagon on a team that whipped his ass. That is way worse.
It was the best player on that squad.
LeBron
wasn't the best player on the Heat when he ran there.
Okay, LeBron was not the best player on the Heat the first year.
Thank you.
The rest of that was all him. And D Wade said that he had to concede that he was no longer the best player in order for them to go ahead and win.
Steph had to pretty much do the same thing. Steph and Clay had to do the same thing. Like, they deferred to Durant. He was the one taking all the big shots at the end of games. He was the one bringing the ball up the court, just nailing dagger after dagger after dagger. To me, you can hate on him all you want for it, but once he got in the position, he proved that he was the alpha of alphas.
I'm just saying they're about in the same boat, but I don't hate either move because both players exercise their rights as free agents.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm for how they went about going and joining their team as opposed to how James Harden got his way out of there. At least LeBron and KD, they fulfilled their contracts and like, all right, I fulfilled my deal, I'm out.
So let's do predictions. What do you guys think now? Lakers going to drop out of the playoffs?
No, I think they'll maybe get the 7-8 seed.
Yeah.
I think they get the 7-8 seed if they, depending on who they get, whether they get Drummond or LaMarcus Aldridge, it would be nice for them with the injuries they have if they could somehow get both. But if they can get one of those two, I could see them not falling out the playoffs. If they don't get either one of them, it could get real spooky.
What they got to do, though, Corey, they just got to get over the bridge.
Oh, Lord.
Here it comes.
Bridge Street Exchange in downtown Fenton is the place that I always talk about because it's a place that I like to brag about. They got all the Carhartt gear. Just go to the back room there and just talk to Kevin and be like, yo, show me the Carhartt room. It's sweet. So much Carhartt gear that you could get. A lot of just Michigan brands in there, which I love to support this locally owned business. So how about this? 15% off your entire order right now if you go shop online or in-store. BridgeStreetExchange.com. Just use the code word WSN, and if you walk in, just tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
That's right. And we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, Adam is here with his bets of the day. I cannot wait to see what we're betting on tonight right here on Woodward Sports.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies. It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. Joey's up here with me. Corey just stepped down. What you got, Fish?
I'm telling you, we should have a transition Joik versus Joey in terms of ads.
Contest?
Yeah, transition contest.
For the live reads?
Yeah, because those are the two best people at it. They know what they're doing with those reads.
They certainly do. And Adam knows what he's doing with the bets, and that's why his record for the season, you're still batting about 600%, right?
Oh, much more. 84 and 44.
All right, about 600. I like it.
I like 66%.
I like it. Who do you got for today, Adam? What's going on? Lots of games, obviously. Some NCAA action, some NBA action. Who you betting on today?
Yeah, Friday I kind of avoided the tournament. I kind of just wanted to get a feel for everything before everything hit the fan, which it did over the weekend. Yeah. So thank goodness we didn't bet too much.
Before you actually go into those games, you got to talk about the weekend.
Fuck off, man.
Because this to me, you sent this in the group chat, and I looked at this like, holy moly.
All right, I'll go through it.
How many game parlay was this to start?
This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-team parlay.
All college
It was
basketball?
13.
mad
It
at
was
you for this,
13,
though?
but Virginia, Commonwealth, and Oregon
Right.
was voided, so it ended up just being 12.
Was it all college basketball?
All college basketball.
Oh, my goodness.
I bet on LSU to win. I bet on Santa Barbara to cover against Creighton. They did. USC to beat Drake. Iowa to beat Grand Canyon. Maryland to upset Connecticut. Ohio to upset Virginia. Oklahoma to beat Missouri. Let's see. Albion Christian Texas to beat Texas.
How do you get that?
How did you have that?
I could say that
It
like
gets
in my
worse.
brackets that
It
I
gets
fill out
worse.
for free, but I'm not putting my money on that.
It was only $10. And then Kansas over Eastern Washington. And then, of course, right before the BYU and UCLA game, I have BYU winning. And the odds were plus 26,000 on a $10 bet, which means I could have won $2,600. And my dumbass.
Everybody in the chat was telling you pull, man.
It was only
you already hit 12 out
listen.
of 13, and then you just got greedy, bro.
Listen, I don't know. It's not about being greedy. I'm not a bitch. I'm not
with you on
I'm not
that.
pulling out, man.
I'm with you
like,
on
I'm
that.
fucking
It's not
in.
about being a bitch.
I'm
it's
in.
about
I'm in. I could have cashed out.
what do we always talk about, man? You can't go broke taking
Yeah,
profits,
but
right?
you know that's on individual bets. When you're doing a parlay and you're fucking 11 out of 12, you fucking go, man. Like, god damn it. That's what you live for. You live to hit these, not to cash out like a bitch.
Yeah, and how
Although
that
I
work
do
out?
recommend everyone cashing out. You know?
Right.
I just have a knack for always being in these situations that I don't give a shit if I cash out.
Yeah.
So it was a $10 wager. The max win was $2,500. You could have cashed out at $1,200.
Yep.
So I want to ask you: would you do it right now? Watching us, would you cash that out or would you ride it out? I mean, listen, the dude
wrote it
went
out.
11 out of 12 on this one.
Listen,
you have to.
The odds, though, at
I
that
know.
point, the odds,
Yeah.
just like odds, man.
Look, obviously hindsight 2020, you cash out.
Right.
But I like have this situation happen at least once a week where a $5 or a $10 bet is like this close to winning $900, $800, $700 maybe. So like I'm always in this position, so I'm comfortable not cashing out. But you know, maybe for everyone else, you cash out. I don't know. I'm confident that I'll be in this situation this weekend.
All right. Well, what do you got for today?
I'm gonna actually bet on college basketball for you guys. I'm gonna give you my college basketball picks for this tournament. We're gonna start with the Oklahoma game. I think Oklahoma covers 14 points. I'm sorry, Oklahoma against Gonzaga. I'm sorry. I think they cover 14 points. A very good Oklahoma team. I don't see Gonzaga blowing them out. I think this is a much closer game. Although Vegas has been right 81% of the time on the spreads, so they know what they're doing. But this one time, I'm not often I do this, but I'm going to take the points. I think that's too much. I think Oklahoma. I think a Big 12 team. They score enough. They're going to be fine. And then of course, one of my favorite bets, Ohio.
What a matchup this is.
I
Ohio
love
versus
this.
Creighton.
That's amazing.
And you know, I had Creighton in my bracket going out the previous round, and really it centered around the coach's comments before the season ended. And you know, they've done a decent job pulling together and winning their games, but I think they're out. I don't think they make a deep run. It just doesn't make sense to me. And really the next game, if you want to pull that back up real quick, is Michigan. We have Michigan.
That's right.
I got to take Michigan on the money line. I think they're going to win. I have them going pretty deep in the tournament. There's no way they lose. I'm not sure why it says USC versus Kansas.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Michigan versus LSU.
Yeah.
At
It's
7-10.
LSU and Michigan, right?
Yeah, I think those were flipped, but I think we copy-pasted wrong. So USC Kansas is actually the next game for the over on the points.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah. So I think that's just a copy-paste issue. But anyways, in the USC Kansas game, I'm going to take the over on the points, 134.5. Both teams are averaging well over 70. In the tournament, I'm feeling really confident about that. And then I'm going to cap the night with Alabama versus Maryland. Actually, Maryland's not a bad choice this game, but for the parlay purpose, I decided to stick with Alabama. I wanted one more favorite in there. I feel like Michigan-Alabama was a good favorite combo. Kind of my upsets are going to be the Ohio and Oklahoma spread. So if you just want to bet on a solo game, I would give you my blessing to put money on Maryland, maybe $10-20. I'd feel confident in that. But if you want to parlay all of these 5 picks together, $50 goes a long way. It gets you $1,073. If you decide to do $10, that's still a good $270, $280. So it's not a bad bet.
No, not at all. And I like the majority of these picks. The only one I'm a little nervous about is Gonzaga and that spread. I mean, did you see what they did?
Yeah.
I was worried about Michigan covering a 27-point spread. Gonzaga won by 40.
Well, it was close early on.
Yeah, it was till about 10 minutes left in the first quarter, or first half.
Yeah, I mean, the first 10 minutes was pretty even. I believe it was like 14-11, and then Gonzaga was up like 40-15. I was like, what the fuck?
Out of nowhere.
It was
Yeah,
like
I was
Joy
watching
Gonzaga.
It was like Joy Grace to me. He looked back at me laughing. I was like, oh boy.
Gonzaga are no joke. They play offense and defense almost at the same level. It's actually very impressive. You could say they're probably the most complete team in the country. Having said that, 14 points to Oklahoma. I think they can put up points. I think they can compete with Gonzaga. Whether or not they win, I don't give a shit. I just think they don't lose by more than 14 points.
Beautiful. Well, those are Adam's bets for the night. If you want to get those in, like he said, place individual bets on each of those. And if you're feeling frisky, go for that parlay. Thank you, Adam, for coming on. Do you want to run these down one more time real quick?
Yeah, we'll take Oklahoma to cover the spread, plus 14. I love it. I think 14 points is super friendly. Obviously, Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the country, but I think Oklahoma makes it close. It's March Madness. I really don't see a blowout tonight. Ohio, Creighton. I'm going to take Ohio on the upset. I love Ohio. I have them going far in the bracket in my bracket as well. So I'm feeling it. Michigan, I'm going to take them to beat LSU tonight. You got to go with the hometown team. One of the very few times I do that. I know Fish hates me when I bet against Detroit teams, but I'm confident in Michigan to beat LSU. I don't see them having an issue tonight. Honestly, if you're a Michigan fan, I would take the spread too. I think they cover the 7.5 points. And then we'll move on to USC versus Kansas. I think they go over on the 134.5 points. Super friendly. Both teams going over 70 points in the tournament so far, so I like that number. And then Alabama straight up against Maryland. I'll take the money line. And that's really more so for the parlay than it is for a solo bet.
Awesome. Well, if you're looking at making these bets and you want a little extra free money to bet with them, all you got to do is go to mybookie.com, enter promo code Woodward. We will match your first deposit up to 50%. So you can, go on right now, put in $100, take that $50 that we're giving to you for free, put it on the games tonight, and you still have your $100. Absolutely nothing to lose. So go to mybookie.com today, and then make sure you use promo code Woodward when you sign up to get that free money. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, some more NCAA tournament talk, but this time a little bit about the ladies. We'll talk about that next.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Pour that out.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. Corey is back up here after Adam's bets. And so this isn't a topic that I thought we would be discussing, but over the weekend it turned out to be a bigger story than I early anticipated. So obviously the men's NCAA tournament is going on right now, and so is the women's. But you're seeing quite a disparity in the way the men are treated and the women are treated by the NCAA. We have some videos right here of some girls that are competing in this tournament, and let's play the first one, Alex, real quick.
So this is Oregon Ducks. Sedona
I got something
Prince.
to show y'all. So for the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, this is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room.
A little bit bigger. Just a little bit.
Now, when pictures of our weight room got released versus the men's, the NCAA came out with a statement saying that it wasn't money, it was space that was a problem. Let me show y'all something else. Here's our practice court, right? And then here's that weight room. And then here's all this extra space. If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it.
See, now, I agree with all of it, but the last part of that statement. Like, I'm not really upset about the problem. I'm just laughing at the problem.
Right.
Like, I feel for you, but I'm not upset about it.
You're the problem, then.
I am the problem?
You're the problem.
So, let's have a real talk about this.
Yep.
NCAA men bring in all the money, right?
For sure. I mean, you look at the brackets. Like nobody, I don't even know if they do women's brackets. And no offense to them, that's just the way that it is.
Right. So
we all make that.
So if you're going to call me part of the problem for not being mad at that, then I'm going to explain my logic to you. No, you should not be treated like that. You should get the same or close to the same amenities. But let's also not pretend that you're the same. Can we do that?
Yes.
And I know there's Title IX, which entitles them to get the same treatment as the male athletes. But at the end of the day, it's a business. And when you have one entity that's bringing in all the money and one entity that's costing you all the money, one's going to get some preferential treatment. Should it be that big of a disparagement? No. And that's where I'm like, okay, that's kind of an issue. Like one weight rack for the girls, like put some effort into it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is kind of goes back to like the U.S. women's national team too, wanting to be paid as much as the men's national team. There's just not revenue for it.
I hear what both of you are saying, and
it's me. Joey didn't say that.
Well, hear what you're saying, and the points are valid. The problem is that they initially slapped the women in the face with what they put out there.
Right.
So when you go out and you outright disrespect somebody the way that the NCAA did, you're gonna get women in this case that are going to respond to being slapped in the face. Whether they should have the same or equally amenities as men or not, that's neither here nor there, especially with, the weight room, and we know that the men's tournament brings in more money. We get that. But then I looked at some of the safety packets that they have, like that right there, that should be equal. That should be a non-negotiable equal. If you want to go to the weight room, okay. But some of that other stuff, I believe that it should be equal. And when it was just the initial slap in the face. That's all they saw.
Right.
So they're I don't know how anybody can expect them to react any way other than that. They could have, if they would have gotten the improved amenities initially, like the ones that they have right now, if they would have had that initially, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
My thing is this, though. Why is the problem just this year? March Madness happens every single year, so why hasn't there been any complaints in the previous years? Because I'm sure it's been something that the NCAA does the same year after year. Like, they know that women require this amount of equipment, the men require this amount of equipment. How hasn't this problem happened in the past years?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with all the teams being under one umbrella now because of COVID. Normally, this is spread out around the country. You have different regions and different courts and different training facilities for everybody. But now that it's all a shared space and there really is limited space to get all of these teams into Indianapolis, like, I think that may have something to do with it. But to your point, Corey, like, what they have now is sufficient, right? But it's not nearly what the men have, correct?
Yeah.
But it's better than one damn dumbbell. Like, even I am sitting there like, how do these guys have meetings, or girls, or whoever makes these decisions have meetings? And it's like, yeah, let's just throw them one dumbbell.
And that's really just what it boils down to. How do you disrespect people? How do you disrespect women in this case and expect them to act any other way? I can sound like a broken record saying that, but that's just really what it boils down to. They need to have they need to have at least something where they can at least be competitive. That one dumbbell, that one rack, what is that?
That doesn't do anything.
That doesn't even do anything for high school girls.
Right.
Let alone we're talking about college. Come on, they need to be ashamed of themselves. They could have at least put some effort into it. That was no effort at all. That was just like you're not even a thought. You're just there. That's what it was. They treated them like they were just there, like their tournament didn't matter. That's just how, whether that's true or not, that's what their actions displayed.
Right. Well, there's some follow-up videos to this too, Alex. Do you want to play that second one? Because they started to get some resolutions and they started to make some noise, like you said, on social media, and people started to respond.
And we're finally together. It looks like we got some kind of meat here. Mashed potatoes and vegetables. A salad. A roll. And a fudge brownie. And everyone is saying this is Salisbury steak. How you feeling, Mike? Are you excited? Okay, Mike's going to try it with me. Ready? Now for the mashed potatoes. The veggies.
You can't mess up mashed potatoes.
They did though.
Okay, here's Maddie! T-Mike has moved on to the brownie.
See, but this was...
It's so tasty. Sid, how you like it?
I'm not trying. These are moist.
Moist?
See, my thing though with this, Hunter Dickinson actually posted when he first got out there for the beginning of all this tournament, saying that the food was awful.
Right.
So this is something to just where NCAA overall probably cheaped out on. They can't pay the athletes. They can't even feed them well.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson called his meal Fire Fest. That's what he took a picture and posted it up. And it was just like it was a piece of bread with like a lettuce and cheese on it. Hardly any meat. And he's like, this is like Fire Fest.
Right. So this one I'm not going to say, all right, I see you on that one. Sedona Prince, which is her name, from Oregon. This is just the NCAA overall because the men had that same horrible food. I hope they pick that game up.
This NCAA is a complete joke. This all around. This not even just off of how they're treating the women athletes, but just off of how they treat their athletes in general. Which is why I love with Isaiah Livers wearing that shirt this weekend, not NCAA property. Just how they treat both of the men and women athletes. It's just a.
See, my thing is
he can wear that shirt though, but he's getting on an NCAA plane, going to an NCAA room that's paid for, eating NCAA food.
So you are NCAA
getting a
property.
jersey that is paid for by the NCAA, wearing shoes that are paid. Like, it's fine to make the statement, but you also can't be the pawn in the game either.
I don't think he's really being a pawn. It's just really just pointing out the discrepancy in how they treat people. It's complete trash.
That's like me going to a high school basketball game saying I'm not MHSAA property. I am. It's MHSAA refs. I'm on the court. I'm on this.
You play, but you're not property. Like let's get that.
He started the word
you
property.
put pen to paper with your name agreeing to.
That don't mean you're property. That just means you're under an agreement. Property is something totally different.
I'm just referencing the shirt that Isaiah wore.
Hey,
I don't think it's property, but that's just the term he used.
I mean, we can splice hairs. It's property.
No, it's not. It is.
What's your argument to it not being property?
Right. He's not property. It's just that simple. I'm not property. I play in the NCAA, but
He's
I'm not
a product of NCAA.
He plays in the NCAA. He's not their property. He's not their product. He's a player.
They own his name. They own his rights.
Likeness,
they own his
image,
likeness.
everything.
Like what don't they own then? I mean, his personal decisions, obviously, his free will, but outside of that, you're kind of NCAA property, man.
I guess.
I mean, that's what the O'Bannon brothers were fighting and stuff like that, even back in the day. So once you put your pen to paper and agree to take that scholarship and turn over your name, likeness, and all that, you essentially are. I mean, we saw a little bit of that with some people that had to work here. Like other companies owned their name and likeness. Are they their property? No, not according to free will and us as human beings.
Exactly. But like I said, they're not property.
But at the end of the day, they are property because they can sue you for your name and likeliness.
Now you could determine this term however the heck you want to take it, but at the end of the day, you're a product, whatever the term that you want to use, they own your rights. That's the right way to say it. They own your rights.
I disagree.
They own your rights, though. I'm saying legally,
You
they
can't
own your
disagree
rights.
with that. They
This
do.
is the law.
That's why they're fighting for. That's why he's wearing the shirt, because they do own these kids. At this
Isaiah
point.
Livers can't just go play for Ohio State tomorrow.
No,
of course not.
So they own your rights.
Fish, what do you got to say?
All right, so back to the food point. This is not a NCAA problem. This is almost a food in bulk problem, and meaning that if you're serving, we saw this with the NBA back in July, if you're serving a bunch of people, they're trying not to spend, $200 per person each night.
Right.
And if you're serving 1,000 people, they want to make it edible but cheap. They're not going to go for the big steak dinners like these NBA athletes get every night because it's way too expensive for 1,000 people times, 80, 90 days that they were in that bubble last year?
Right. No, I mean, it is a completely different ball game, but the NCAA does have a little bit more money than like a soup kitchen, and that's all. They should supply a little bit more healthy meal, especially for athletes that are needing to operate at the highest level. So, yeah, there's a third video of this, and this is kind of the good part of all of this. Alex, could you play that to show what happened once the internet got a hold of it?
Guess what, guys? We got a weight room. Yeah! We got a ton more dumbbells. Look at that. Look at all these racks. for squats and whatever we want to do. We got a bunch of bands. Look at this, guys. And we got some equipment. Ayo, thank you, NCAA, for listening to us. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, for real. Yay, guys. Yeah.
And there you go. Like you were saying, Corey, if that would have been the presentation when they first walked in, we probably would have never heard anything about this.
That's why the NCAA is a complete joke, because they could have done that to begin with.
Right.
But instead of being proactive, they were reactive. And just like any trash organization, they try to, put, lipstick on a pig, call it a day, whatever.
Yeah, and you wonder why they couldn't even put forth that minimum effort first
What's the
off.
cost?
Because
of
they
that?
don't care.
Like, realistically, you can't tell me you can't work out a partnership with the gym or something, like a Planet Fitness, for example. Just give a sponsorship to Planet Fitness, let them sponsor that entire thing. They'd be happy as hell to be a part of that.
The thing about that is NCAA got that in a drop in the bucket. They had that all along.
Yeah.
They just chose not to do it. They had the capability of doing that all along.
Right. So it's been an interesting adjustment for the NCAA, trying to put everybody under the bubble. And honestly, that's why I think a lot of this stuff is taking place, because majority of the times when you'd have these all over the country, like they could use a high school gym, they could use facilities that have already been made. But right now, they're not going to welcome a bunch of strangers into high school gyms. They're not going to open up facilities. So they tried to do makeshift facilities. They just did piss poor planning for the girls.
They're like, here's your basketball court. Go ahead. Good luck.
Here you go. The rim's at 9 feet, but, we tried.
Piss poor planning would have been a few amenities missing. What they initially did was no planning. You can do that with just like, all right, just throw a rack in there.
That's to your point, though. Like, to Stick's point on that, like, how do you sit in that? Because those dumbbells got there somehow.
Right.
Whose job was it to get those dumbbells there? Because whoever that is just a horrible human being and needs to get fired.
But they're not going to get fired. They're going to get praised because they got the job done.
They fixed the problem.
After being after reacting to everybody on the social media and all the athletes lighting a fire up under their ass and embarrassing them. That's how all these stupid organizations do. They don't only
Corey is feeling some type of way about this morning, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, people only react when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to rights of African Americans or any copper rights. These companies only react after they get embarrassed, exposed. They don't do the right thing initially.
Do you think this was a sexist thing that they did to begin with, though?
Absolutely. Because the thing about it is, how can you say it's not? They don't have to have the same exact amenities as the men. We totally get that because of what we just said about what they bring in, money wise, and just the whole everything surrounding the tournament. But they gave them nothing. They gave them next to nothing. So,
I don't know. That was at least a $400 dumbbell set, man.
Yeah, like I said, they gave them next to nothing. They probably, for what they spent on that weight rack, they probably spent that on their lunch deciding what we're going to do for the women.
Exactly. The boardroom meeting had a catered lunch that cost more than that weight rack. So obviously, it's an issue. It got resolved, but it shouldn't be an issue to begin with. And I think that's Corey's point. I think that's everybody's point up here. Is like minimal effort would have prevented all of this, but obviously minimal effort didn't happen. But you want to know where maximum effort happens? GrowGreenMI.com, and that's where you need to go today. And actually, Wednesday through Friday of this week, Grow Green Michigan is hosting a clone swap. So Friday from 1 to 5 p.m., you can bring up to 4 clones and trade with your fellow growers for something new. Industry pros from Fox Farm, Extreme Gardening, Roots Organic, Dairy Dew, and more will be on site. Everything scores you a free Grow Green t-shirt if you mention Woodward Sports while you're out there. So if you want some new strands in your garden and you want to trade with some people and also get some industry tips, make sure you go to Grow Green Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. because that's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to be out there for that. And then make sure you go to growgreenmi.com today and mention Woodward Sports when you call them or go there or go on the website and they will hook you up with a free t-shirt. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, new quarterback in town, and he said something in his press conference that really stuck out to me. We'll talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac. back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you to everybody that's dropping your comments in the chat on Facebook and YouTube. We see you. A lot of people agreeing with Corey on that last bit. Not bit, but that last topic that we did. And so there's a new topic. There's also a new quarterback in town. His name is Jared Goff. And if you weren't listening to his press conference, Jared Goff does not feel like he is here to just waste 2 years and find out what the Lions are going to do next. His quote was, "I'm here to take this team over the top." Is there a chance the Lions are going to be better than everybody's giving them credit for this year?
Absolutely. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team right now, but I think they're definitely going to be a lot better than what people are expecting. Jared Goff, I don't understand this whole thing around him being this. People are treating Jared Goff like he's Joe Flacco, and he's not.
It's so true.
And
Worse than that.
And I understand he's not the QB talent that Matthew Stafford is. We know we know what we saw here the past 12 years. We know what kind of talent he is. We also know that Matthew Stafford didn't win when he was here. Jared Goff has won. While they may not be of the same skill level, one person knows how to get the job done. So I don't understand disrespecting a guy because he won, because he had great talent surrounded around him. Name a quarterback in the NFL that can continually succeed with bad talent around him. It doesn't happen. So don't fault Jared Goff for what he did with the Rams, because he had quality weapons on the offense. He had a good defense. He's going to come here with a chip on his shoulder, as he already said in the press conference, because he led the Rams to a Super Bowl, and he got traded for a guy that has not won a playoff game and does not even know what that feels like.
Especially in the NFL, when you talk about this, it's like, even if you have the best talent, you're a horrible quarterback, you're still not going to get that far. But you get all the way to the Super Bowl, and like Corey mentioned, quarterback talent, when you look at Jared Goff compared to Matthew Stafford, you probably say Stafford got a little bit more talent. But when you look at what is that last factor that got Jared Goff to the Super Bowl, it's something that Matthew Stafford did not have. And now we got to take that and run with it.
And one thing I do love that Goff said in that press conference was when he was talking about, I asked him about his toughness. You know, like I asked him in the press conference, I said, one thing that fans in Detroit rallied around Matthew Stafford was his toughness.
Right.
And I asked him about, does he feel, he said, I feel I'm of that same type of toughness. He spoke, I just won a playoff game with a broken thumb. I mean, it don't get no tougher than that.
And it wasn't a broken thumb. He just had surgery on that bitch. Like, and that's what really frustrates me about the whole Jared Goff narrative, that he's just kind of a throw-in, and the 2 first-round picks were really all that matter, and this guy's just a stopgap till we can find our quarterback either this draft or next draft. But at the same time, man, you got to give this guy ample opportunity to show you what he's got. Because, yes, on the surface, he doesn't have the rocket arm. He doesn't have the intangibles or the measurables that Stafford does. But what he does have is the intangibles that Stafford didn't, and that's the ability to lead a team to a playoff win, to get them over that hump. And, you know, around here we have this debate often because Sean Baligian's in the camp of, you know, Stafford's so much better than Goff. Goff's going to be a waste of time here. And you hear that for other people that talk, you know, Maz feels that way too about Goff, just doesn't think he's going to be good. And for me, it's like, we don't know. The dude's 26. He was the #1 overall pick. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's won a playoff game last year. Did he have superior talent around him at some points? Of course he did, and that's okay. But when they went to the Super Bowl, he led the #14th ranked team to the Super Bowl, not the #2 ranked defense to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I have a rough time, especially coming from where a Lions fan come from, watching a guy be successful his whole career and being like, that's not good enough for me. I kind of feel like we're doing the Jim Caldwell to him already.
And the thing about it is, who the hell are Lions fans to not want a winner? This organization, the fans, don't know what winning looks like in this city if it walked up on them and slapped them in the face, at least from a professional football standpoint. Who the hell are you to clown a guy that's coming in here with a chip on his shoulder And he's not in here sulking like, oh, I can't believe I got traded to Detroit and everything like that.
No.
He just went ahead and said that he was honest. First thing I did love about Goff was that he was honest in his press conference. He said, I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed at first, but after I got on the phone and talked to, the coaching staff, it was a breath of fresh air. Now I have a new chance and a chip on my shoulder to start my career over, and I want to go ahead and do it here in Detroit. He knows about the team's history. He's up for the challenge. You know how many players avoid Detroit with a 10-foot pole, and you have a quarterback who went to the Super Bowl that wants to come here? It's not, like I said, he's not Joe Flacco. He's not a Nick Foles. He's not a Mitchell Trubisky. The guy can play. I don't, and then on top of it, you got Goff and you got draft picks. What more do you want?
They want the next quarterback. They want to solve this problem before we even know that it's a problem. And that's what scares me, because if we do spend our number 7 overall pick on a quarterback and Goff comes out and it shows us, man, this kid could be the future. Yes, we could always trade him to get more assets, which is fine. But then once again, we're trading away something good at quarterback that we needed.
You know what? Lions fans don't know what they want, because here, remember you spoke about Jim Caldwell. Let's revisit that real quick.
Right.
When that vacancy came open, it was between Jim Caldwell and Ken Wisenhunt.
And I like Wisenhunt.
And everybody wanted Ken Wisenhunt, and then he spurned us, and he went to the
Cardinals.
The Titans.
Oh, you go with Titans?
Yeah, he went to the Titans. He came from the Cardinals, but he used to coach the Cardinals, but he went to the Titans.
Got it.
And he didn't last 2 seasons there. Jim Caldwell, who nobody wanted, came here, and whether you like him or not, up to this point, is the Lions' most successful coach. So this could be another situation like to that point where the Lions fans get somebody that they don't want, but actually ends up being what they need.
Yeah, sometimes, you don't know what you need, too. And that's like, we don't know what a winning quarterback looks like. We don't know what a winning coach looks like. So when we do have them, it's like we don't recognize it. And that's what I feel we did with Caldwell. He was a winning coach. He was the best coach I've seen in my lifetime here in Detroit. Made our floor the playoffs. Like, that was our floor. If we didn't make the playoffs, we were sad about it. Now it's like, oh man, I hope we get to 7-9. It's like, oh God, no. But with Jared Goff, we got to at least acknowledge this pick. So whether you like this dude or not, this is a smooth man right there. Rocking that Eddie Murphy jacket, baby, from Beverly Hills Cop.
The Axel Foley joint. That I still need to go get that jacket. I don't know if
that
they
is
still.
A sick jacket.
I mean, that is really the only. You know how Ty Hopkins released all the starter jackets and everything like that. I want the Pistons one, but outside of that Pistons jacket, that's the next one I want. That one right there. I don't know if that's starter or not, but I need that one in my collection.
Yeah, it's a smooth jacket, man. And, Goff's got the football, Eddie's got the gun, but, same. So I'm just happy that he's excited to be here. He's not sitting here going to pull a Blake Griffin and going to fake an injury and then go to Brooklyn and
or a
dunk
Kenny
all over
Galladay.
us. Right, or a Kenny Galladay. Like, the dude wants to be here. Let's embrace Goff, man. Let's celebrate that we got somebody. We have a quarterback that's been to a Super Bowl about to take a snap for the Detroit Lions. When is the last time that happened?
And it's not like he just got to one like that. He's only been in the league for, 5 years? 20% of his entire career in the NFL has been spent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we're going to sit here hating on it.
That's a nice way to put it.
I mean, for real, 1 in 5 seasons he's made it to the Super Bowl. 2 in 6 you could do too.
So, Goff, welcome to Detroit. We hope you can deliver and take us over the top. And honestly, in Detroit, over the top is 10-6, right?
Oh, yeah.
He can.
10-7, or however they're going to do it now, is 17 games.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 17 games now.
Is that this season?
Yeah.
Yep, that's this season.
Less preseason games, an extra regular season game. So, the one thing I hate about that is now we got to fear that the Lions being the first team to go 0-17.
I was hoping you didn't say it.
I mean, it's a reality. I never thought we'd go 0-16, and I thought we would be the only one to ever hold that record, but thank God the Browns came along to make sure they're in the same lane as us. But yeah, 0-17 is now on the radar. What's up, Fish?
Browns had a party for that 0-16 season. Why didn't we have a party for that season?
Because we actually give a shit. Like, I don't know why you would celebrate 0-16. They did a parade, too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a parade. I actually wanted to go.
You really?
Yeah.
It's like winning the toilet bowl in our bracket contest. That's exactly what that is.
At least you get something, though.
Right.
I'll take a toilet over 0-16 misery.
That is crazy. So, yeah, the Browns, they have a chance to go 0-17 as well and match us. But, yeah, I'm not too excited about having that extra game on the schedule, especially since we hold the record for 0-16. I just don't want to be that team that, the Lions hold 0-16 and 0-17.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think 0-16 would happen either. I got to be honest with you.
You know what? I won't sit up here and say I saw 0-16. But I did see 2-14. So, man, that year, with that team, I was like, I saw 2-14. I didn't think they would go the whole. I didn't think they would go full tank.
Craig says he owns a ball signed by the 0-16 Lions.
That might be worth something.
Well, it is now. Dan Campbell was on that squad.
Ah,
so you got the head coach of the Lions on that football. That's awesome.
How long was Dan a part of that team?
Well, he got injured. For that year, he was injured in week 1 and then wasn't with the team the rst of the year.
So that might be why.
That's why. That's 100%. We didn't have our true alpha there, so it's 100%
he was a star in the NFL.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Joey's News is up next. So if you missed it, we got all the updates over the weekend and some fun stuff for you up next on the Woodward Sports Network. I mean, we're inside Grow Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's News.
Let's go.
Everybody else here, let's go for it except Blake Griffin on this Monday morning. Good morning there. Blake Griffin yesterday had a dunk. His first game as a Brooklyn Net, he had a dunk. Look at him on this beautiful effort on defense. Gets a block. Them knees look brand new. He looks 10 pounds skinnier. But then this play is what set it off.
Here it is, the fake three, though. Oh!
Since 2019, he has not had a single dunk. Held onto the rim. Them knees look pretty good to me.
He looks younger. Like I mean, just not even. I'm talking about like how he's moving. Look at him. Look when the camera goes to his face. He looks a lot younger in the face.
But also, let's be honest. He hasn't played in what? 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's had some time to rest. So if he's getting maybe 3 weeks between each game, maybe that's the Blake Griffin you're going to get.
Let's stress him.
You said the Nets are playing the Pistons what
Friday.
Day?
At LCA.
At LCA.
Ooh.
We should go, man.
That'd be sweet. We should make that happen.
Let's go, and then we can boo Blake.
I would go all out on going.
And you know what?
Blake.
I was there last night. He'd hear it.
Yeah.
He'd definitely
there
hear
ain't
it.
nobody there, so you're going to hear the one guy, boo!
I wonder if they kick you out easily now these days if you do that.
Probably so. I mean, I will say it did look like a normal Pistons game, but, you know.
That's
so sad.
Why you got to do that, Corey? Why you got to do that?
So sad. On to March Madness. Stick said it best in a tweet. Can we just restart brackets in the Sweet 16?
Please.
Sounds about right. Is there anybody left with a perfect bracket?
No. ESPN had like 15 million brackets, no perfect. You know, we had like well into the couple thousands of brackets, no perfect.
Mm-hmm. But we do have Dawn Day at second place, which is Stick's mom.
My mom's tearing it up, man. She's number 2 in our bracket
or was she just
challenge.
hitting random stuff?
Come on, she's just doing random stuff, but that's how it goes, man. Some people, like Justin, picked, you know, actual mascots fighting, who would win in those real fights. That's how he chose his bracket. Some people like if they like the team colors, like that's why it's the tournament. It's brackets. Usually the chick who in the office who knows the least about basketball wins the tournament.
It's usually how it goes, and especially this season, it all started with number 15 Oral Roberts beating number 2 Ohio State by 3 points on Friday in overtime, who then went on to win yesterday against number 7 Florida. So yes, number 15 seed Oral Roberts is heading to the Sweet 16.
Only the second 15th seed to make it to the Sweet 16. That's amazing.
That's crazy. And it's just like you see, I mean, number 4 Purdue losing to number 13 North Texas, proving that the Big Ten really ain't shit this year. We thought they would be a little bit better than they've been performing, but then there's 13 seeds, 14 seeds beating teams. That's just crazy this entire season of this March Madness. But today, hopefully we see a #1 Michigan beating a #8 LSU. That game tipping off at 7:10. And then in the NBA, some injuries that were crazy. I'm going to start it off by saying LaMelo Ball expected to miss the rest of the season with a fractured right wrist. But then even bigger news than that, LeBron James just confirmed from our source, Corey Woods, that LeBron is out for a month.
A month.
The Lakers with no LeBron, with no AD for a month.
Yeah.
They may get AD. They may get Andre Drummond.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
That's some trade talk right there.
The poor man's AD.
They'll if they get Andre Drummond, all jokes aside, they get Andre Drummond, they won't fall out of the playoffs, but they're definitely going to fall out of #2 regardless.
Yeah.
They're not holding on to that.
It's going to be interesting to see how far they fall, and it's going to be something that we can watch over the next month. And then when LeBron and AD come back, do they have enough time to make up the ground to get them back into a better position? Because if they wind up the 8 seed and they're playing the #1 seed, that's going to be a tough road for LeBron to get back-to-back championships.
Yeah, but if they go in there with a healthy Anthony Davis, a healthy LeBron James, and if they get an Andre Drummond, then if they have that, I actually have them winning the whole thing.
Okay. That's definitely competition right there. This is the play, actually, by the way, that LeBron did get injured on. You see the little roll on that ankle, which was definitely a little bit of a scary scene on this play, but it's a month.
He got rolled up on from behind. It's tough. Whenever you see this type of injury, and you saw LeBron go down in agony, and we've seen him go down in agony when not even getting touched, but you could tell this was some actual real pain that he was in.
Yeah, you know what? You thought he was
slow-mo was worse.
You thought he was okay when he got up and he walked off when he started walking off of it, but it was probably just all adrenaline, just running through his body and able to.
It's the end, though, right here. When he falls and then he does that little, crawl. That crawl
right there
is where you knew, right there, that little crawl. That's when it gets, oh, man. So, big local news here in Michigan. Today is going to be the first day that they set to kick off the high school spring sports.
Yeah.
Really excited about that because what is spring with the high school sports?
Yeah, I'm excited for baseball season. I love watching high school baseball and just
lacrosse
being outside.
is another fun one too.
Yeah, that is a fun one. High school sports are still going on. The MHSAA basketball tournament is kicking off this week. Districts are happening all around the area, and hopefully we get to maybe go to a few district games, Joey. That'd
be calling
fun.
any?
Maybe next Saturday. I'm calling the Orchard Lake St. Mary's game, hopefully. On Saturday, I was able to call the Detroit Pershing versus Detroit Martin Luther King game for the PSL championship, and that was a lot of fun. King came out with the victory, but it was a back-and-forth game. I mean, King dominated the second quarter, then Pershing came in and got it down to 4 in the third quarter, and then King just took over in the fourth. But both great teams, both great coaches, and it was fun to watch those guys play.
That's the biggest thing that these kids need right now in their career, and maybe something that you need in your career is a little switch. So how about Northwestern Tech? Check them out right now, northwesterntech.edu. This is the perfect time to just learn a trade, start a new career. It's all about a 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program. It's the HVAC school that works, northwesterntech.edu.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to announce our Doll of the Week, which we started last week, and she should be joining us on the phone, and we'll talk to her coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick. So every Monday, we started it last week, we're going to bring on a local Detroit girl, and we call it the Detroit Dolls of the Week because there's an Instagram called Detroit Dolls, and they have a ton of followers, and they said they would help us, and, you know, we're going to make that kind of a special thing for these girls. But last week, we did Detroit Doll of the Week, and we put it out on our Twitter, and, of course, cancel culture tried to get us, Joey. Did you see it?
I actually didn't see it.
People were calling and telling us that the term doll was degrading and what we're doing to women, and it's 2021. This type of stuff doesn't deserve to be on the air.
Stick, I think you're a doll, Corey. I think you're a doll. Like, that term is not offensive whatsoever.
To me, I don't think it's, like, looking down on anybody in the slightest. Do you, Corey? I mean, you of all people, you know, like we were talking about the women thing earlier, you probably have a better conscience on these things, so do you find it offensive?
I'm not a woman, but I would be confused off of the word doll.
Well, and that's what's funny. It was only dudes complaining. No women complaining. And
that's how to be the woman.
And what was my reply to that dude on Twitter? I said, yes, we should quit honoring powerful women because weak men are afraid of what we're calling them.
Well said.
I mean,
and we're not going to stop doing it.
I know women who call each other dolls.
Yeah, to me, it's like it's such like a nice 50s term, you know, like, oh, she's a doll. So,
especially like you look at dolls, you know, like the kids play with dolls, you know, they're the cute thing. So my thing with this is I love that a couple local guys start this up because, you know, you always see like LA girls and all these hot chicks Instagrams and everything always highlighting women outside of Detroit. And I'm like, no. We got hot girls in Detroit, too, so let's showcase them with the Detroit Dolls.
Well, and it's not just about being hot, too. Like, that's the thing about this. It's about being powerful and empowered as women, and that's why we want to bring one on a week and highlight them and just, you know, give them the week because this is your week. And right now we have Rachel on the line. Rachel, can you hear us? Nope. There she is, but she's frozen.
Our doll is frozen.
Our doll is frozen.
But let's throw this picture up of Rachel. I mean, that's what's so good is like last week our first one was Gabby, and she's a trainer at Mayweather Gym and just a badass chick, known her for a little bit, and she's a beautiful girl. And then here we got Rachel, just a boss-ass chick.
Yeah, no, she looks happy. She looks healthy. I don't know a ton about Rachel, but we definitely want to feature her on all of our social media this week, just so everybody knows in the area that, hey, these girls are out there. They're a part of Detroit fabric. They're always big sports fans too. That's another reason why we wanted to do this. These are athletic ladies who love the sports. And unfortunately, we're getting a connection issue with her this morning. Otherwise, we would have had her on. But congratulations to Rachel. We can keep trying. I'm going to text her real quick to try one more time, and we can do that. But overall, Joey, you know, I'm happy that we do this.
It is. I mean, it's one of those things that you're proud to be a part of because always it is all about, like, the sexuality and, like, the way that they look. This is a little bit of a different angle. It's not only about how they look, it's about the person that they are. And Rachel, you are the doll of the week this morning. Hello, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Hey, there she is. Where are you from, Rachel?
I currently live in Troy, Michigan.
All right, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do? Are you into sports? You into going to the gym? Tell us all about you.
I used to be a water aerobics instructor, but I just got my master's degree in social work. So now I work in Detroit for a geriatric health clinic, and I help elderly people with any counseling needs they have, or just help them with financial struggles and stuff.
So we've been lining up things that we got to do, and last week our winner was a trainer actually at a boxing gym down the street. So Stick and I promised that we would show up to a training last Friday. Don't ask if we went or not, but could we do some water aerobics? I think that's got to be the next thing for us.
It's actually a really good workout. People don't realize how much calories you burn doing it, but it is a very great workout.
How did you get into water aerobics?
I was a lifeguard for many years, yeah. So, and then I kept watching the water aerobics instructor, and she had really fun music going, and I thought, I want to do that. So then I walked up to her and asked her how you get involved with that, and then just kind of went forward from there. And I really like elderly people, so I noticed most of my water aerobics classmates were older than me, but I like that.
Yeah, you definitely chose the route to hang out with elderly people a lot and help them and do great things in the community. And this is exactly why we wanted to feature somebody like you who, not only are you doing great things athletically, but you're also doing great things for other people too. And that's got to feel good on a day-to-day basis to help, because I know when my grandmother was in the home, I mean, just having people like you there is so comforting as a family member too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm sure your grandma really appreciates you caring for her like that, so that's good.
Rachel, one thing that we always do, and this is a new segment, obviously it's only been 1 week, but we always ask for a speech from our Detroit doll. So, Rachel, what does this mean to you?
To be a Detroit doll?
Yeah, Detroit doll. You're the second Detroit doll on Woodward Sports.
I didn't even know I was only the second one. That's really cool. I mean, it's quite an honor. The Detroit Dolls have always been really respectful of me, and they're really fun to hang out with. And I think it's really cool to be called a Detroit Doll. It makes me feel kind of more confident, and I don't know. It's a good thing to be a part of. I think it's really sweet that they reached out to me and asked me to do this.
I'm so happy you said that, because I don't know if you heard our lead into you coming on. We got some negative feedback last week that we were calling women dolls. And, to me, you're the person that's going to judge if it's offensive or not. But do you feel that term at all is offensive?
No. I mean, unless it was an offensive thing to be a part of. But, I mean, I don't take it offensively because they call me a doll.
I love that, though. It's we're having some internet issues there, but it's like she even mentioned that without us even talking about that with her.
Right.
And that's really, I mean, if you want to take it as offensive, listen, there might be some meaning that you don't like behind it, but to us, I mean, we're just recognizing powerful women. That's really the whole term behind it.
So, Rachel, besides work and besides, what you do giving back to the community, what do you do for fun?
For fun, I actually started doing piano lessons because we're in a pandemic and there's not really much to do. I have both vaccines, so I feel safe when I go. But yeah, I thought I'm going to take up piano lessons. Well, there's really no places to go out to right now. So,
what's the first song you learned?
Oh, we learned really easy stuff like the Itsy Bitsy Spider when you first start.
Mary had a little lamb.
Remember the recorder? When you'd be on your recorder just annoying the shit out of your parents?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, piano is something I've always wanted to be able to play, but, it's just good that you keep getting more cultured and adding to yourself and growing as a person. And we're going to put you up on all of our social media today, and just want to celebrate you and who you are and what you do for the city. And just thank you so much for coming on with us this morning and being our second honorary Detroit doll.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
You're very welcome. Everybody give it up for Rachel from Troy. Thank you, Rachel.
Bye.
So that's so great, man, and I'm glad we're going to do that every Monday. We'll bring a different girl. Next week, she's coming into the studio, too.
Heck yeah.
From what I heard, because I love when they're in the studio and we can get pictures with them and stuff like that. So if you know anybody that wants to be the Detroit Doll of the Week, make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports, or go hit up the Detroit Dolls, and they'll feature you as well. A couple of guys that I play softball with started the whole thing, and Joey and I, when we used to do a night show here in Detroit, we used to bring on the Detroit Doll of the Week, too, and it's just always fun. Always fun.
Are they good? Softball players?
Surprisingly, yes.
Really?
Surprisingly, Brad's really good. Billy is good, and I was shocked the first time I played with him.
That's awesome.
Because Billy does not look like he's a supreme athlete by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
In the outfield, he shags them fly balls like nobody's business. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Mr. Fish is here with some facts, and he's also got some bets coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies. It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
Is it time?
Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go fish. Fish facts.
It's fish!
It's my favorite time of the morning. Mr. Fish graces us with his beautiful face. He gets out of that audio booth and comes over here and delivers some facts and some bets. Fish, what are your facts of today?
Today's Monday. As everyone knows, it was a very good weekend of March Madness. What else do we have? Soccer, rugby, football, every single thing you can name. It was a exciting weekend. We start in the rugby with the Penrith Panthers out there in Sydney, Australia, where they have conceded 0 points in 2 games. It is very similar to American football, so that gives you an idea of the scoring to how it works. So, yeah, it's a pretty big goal. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the sport. So
Really?
It's a pretty big defeat.
Yeah, those are nice shutouts, man.
Yeah. So they're looking pretty good. They lost in the final last year. So we'll see if they can win it again this year. Moving on to good old hockey. Sean Baligian loves hockey. So do I. Connor McDavid. He got the fewest games to 60 points over the weekend. He actually hit it yesterday. He has 34 games. 34 games. That is the fewest on the list there. Mario Lemieux got it back in 93-94. Only 2 players have hit fewer games since Lemieux in 93-94.
Look at that difference, too. 21 for Mario Lemieux.
And you got to give a shout-out to Fedorov on that list.
Yeah, Fedorov's on that list. Jaromir Jagr's on that list. So some big hockey names on that list.
Yeah, all of those names on that list are legends.
And they're very good at it.
Yep.
Moving to soccer now. Messi got another record yesterday. He just keeps getting records after records after records. He got 467 goals in La Liga, which is the Spanish league. He sets a record for goals in a single European league.
Good for Messi. Did you draw this, Fish?
I did not draw. No, my drawing is not very good.
Really?
Moving to good old March Madness. Adam had a good week with March Madness. Hopefully everyone else did. At least one team from each seed position has been eliminated following number 1 Illinois' loss in the first game of the second round.
Wow, that's a crazy fun stat. I like that.
Yeah, and we saw over the weekend that every single seed except the 16th seed made it to the second round.
That's cool.
So that's another fun stat.
That is fun.
And then the good old Rockets. They're not looking so good right now, eh?
No.
They're the first team in NBA history to have 20-plus game winning streak and a 20-plus game losing streak.
In the same season?
Not in the same season.
Okay, I was going to say, damn.
Well, we can see if that happens at the end of the season. If they end up going on a 20-game winning streak, then it'll be in the same season.
And rumor is
But
the
that's in
Pistons are
history.
looking at Victor Oladipo as
saw
one
that.
of the potential trade partners. I'd like Oladipo here. What do you think about that, Fish?
I like him as a player. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, he's a good player. Moving on to 1972, March 22. Let me make sure. Yeah, March 22. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won the MVP for NBA.
Formerly known as Lou Alcindor. Awesome guy right there, man.
I did not know that. That's a fun fact from Stick.
That is a fun fact.
And then today is someone's birthday. He was formerly on the Texans. You guys have any guess?
J.J. Watt.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ooh.
J.J. Watt, 1989. Happy birthday to J.J. Watt. Justin James.
Formerly of Central Michigan, was a tight end at Central Michigan.
Yeah, and then he, I like J.J. Watt.
Then he transferred to Wisconsin and became the most dominant defensive lineman of all time.
Beast mode.
Beast mode. All right, you got some bets for today,
Yes,
Fishy?
we do. Michigan plays tonight over LSU. And unpopular opinion, as much as I would love Michigan to win the whole tournament, I'm not picking them to lose tonight.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I just don't have good feelings about Michigan winning it all.
Yeah, I didn't have a winning it all in my bracket either.
They're going to win tonight. It's going to be a lot closer than people think. 2, 3, 4 points.
Okay, so
the spread
you got
is
the spread.
5.
Yeah, the spread's 5.
So I don't know. They'll win.
You're gonna
I
take
don't know if
LSU
they'll-
plus the points?
No, I'll pick Michigan to win.
Okay.
Michigan can either win by 20 or 2.
That's how I feel too.
That is the story
they're
of
a
Michigan's
toss-up.
here.
So I'm gonna go with Michigan tonight. Although it's.
All right, what's your next bet, Fishy?
That's it. That's all the bets we have.
All right, perfect, man.
Just a great night. I mean, there's other games. Ohio Creighton, Oklahoma's playing. That Florida Oral Roberts game was exciting. I enjoyed that.
That was a fun game last night, wasn't it?
There will be upsets. So there's your bet for today. If
There
you
you
want
go.
to pick upsets, there will be upsets. So choose the best one you think that has a chance and win. Well, Gonzaga is probably going to win. Hopefully they lose, but
Fish is calling for some upsets, baby. Well,
yeah,
thank
I'm
you
calling
so
for
much.
upsets.
Thank you so much for coming on, Fish, with your Fish's facts and your Fish's bets of the day. It is now time for Joey's Dumbass of the Day.
Now, to present the award,
it is Joey.
It is time.
Dumbass of the day.
Why would you do that? And the loser is...
We all have that moment in our life where you're playing basketball, you shoot a shot, you're just so confident that it went in. It looks like it went in. You turn around, you get all hype, then you realize it did not go in, and this video went viral over the weekend. Take a look right here.
Here we go.
Cash money!
Great job.
Well, I made it. Well, if you want to
Well,
come out
I made it. All
Here we
confident
go.
as shit.
Look at the news report of the guy.
Oh!
He saw it go out.
Great job.
I'm confused why he was still going on.
But I don't think he was saying great job that she made the shot. I think he was just saying, like,
Good
great
job.
job in general. And then she's like, well, I made it. Like, how many situations, because that's why it went viral. Like,
Right.
I think I tweeted for us is like, hey, when I finally got her number, but then I realized it's a fake one. Like, you walk away like, oh, I got it. And you go to call it, you really didn't get the number.
He couldn't show her up and play her like that on live air. It just made for such an amazing clip that he did. It actually made the clip even better that he didn't call her out.
Right. Can we see that again, Alex, one more time? Because I love this. Just the confidence and the pure joy that she has.
Look
in
at
her
the
face.
jump. She got some airtime on this one. Look.
Woo! Oh!
Great job.
Well, I made it. Well, if
I
you
bet
want
she
to
looked
come out
back
and
at
have
that
a
mad.
Well, I made it. I just love how she says that. Well, I made it.
You know what? She should have took the AirPod out. She might have made it for real.
Right.
So there is our dumbass of the day.
Yeah, definitely a dumbass of the day right there. Let's hit her with the dumbass.
You dumbass.
Hey, dumbass. But Corey, you had a different dumbass of the day you wanted to bring in here.
Oh, man, I've been lighting this guy up all over social media all week.
Is this the book you bought?
You know what? I actually had to buy. You know what? I bought the book after he did it because
Okay.
I'm just such a petty person.
That book.
So there's this relationship guru all over social media named Derek Jackson, and he makes his stock and trade is belittling men for what they do wrong in relationships. You know, he does touch on the right stuff, like, you know, men need to be gentlemen and whatnot, but he talks about infidelity and what guys don't need to do and everything like that. Then he goes on and cheats on his wife.
Come on.
And no, here's the killer. Two things. One, he blamed it on his beef with God for cheating.
Well, who else would you blame it on? Not your penis.
And then second, he said that he was with the person that he cheated on his wife with. He said that he was in a sexual relationship with that woman without having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, sexual relationship without having sex?
Yeah.
Y'all don't know about it. Real intimacy. I can't
Now
even
here's
say it
the
with a
thing.
straight face.
He posted the half an hour long YouTube live video yesterday, and it was choppy. When somebody said it was probably choppy because God was, you know, striking down his lies. But after that video and everybody started lighting him up, he yanked it down.
Do we got the video?
We got part of it, right?
I screenshot part of it.
All right, let's see what this dude had to say.
Now, here's the thing, and we're going to do a Q&A right after this. Here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex.
Man, he should hook up with Jada
without
Pinkett.
actually having sex.
Like, that just seems like the dream couple right there.
I love that. I'm mad I didn't think of that one. Damn.
You know, I had a sexual entanglement, but it wasn't sexual.
I just don't understand. Like, you know what? And me and all my friends, we had a field day on this because it's like we knew he was a con artist from day one. Like, it was his stock and trade just saying, well, your guy cheats on this because he's not a good man and everything like this. Like, it's kind of funny. All of the videos of the talking about the type of men that women should avoid, he was really talking about himself.
I mean, that's normally the case when anybody gives advice or something like that. They normally are talking to themselves. They just use outsiders to project. And that's what we call in psychology projecting. Like when you're coming down on other men for stuff you're doing, you feel better because you feel like you're punishing yourself. And you see that in lots of different areas of life.
So you got this book, Corey, you said?
Oh, I had to order it. I did. I really placed an order for it.
The last chapter of that book is what cracked me up.
Man.
Like, it's all about fixing your relationship and like how you can be better, how you can support more, how you can listen more, how you can be there more. Then last chapter, why the girl you just broke up with is a devilish ass bitch. And it's like, if all this didn't work, she crazy. And that's it. That was his whole book.
We need an extended version. Last chapter got to be JK. I cheated on my girl too.
I hope that I can get that book signed because that is going to be a collector's item. But I had to buy the book because he finessed women. I hate to say it, primarily black women for the past decade, and I need to see how the hell he did it. I want to read these lies for myself so I can arm myself on how to heal together with my woman.
Yeah, they're not lies. He's telling them exactly what they need to hear. It's just ain't nobody listening to that shit. Like, if it was that easy, we'd all have perfect relationships, and we'd all, know, you're dealing with individuals who change over time. Like, any relationship therapist, like this guy, he kind of comes across like a TV evangelist.
He's a charlatan.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great term right there. We'll leave it on that term. Thank you guys for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show today. Bell and Baligian is up next, but it's actually Baligian and Foster because no Joik Bell today.
What?
So Terry Foster is going to be sitting in for Joik Bell coming up at 11 o'clock. Thank you guys for downloading the app, commenting on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Have a great day. Enjoy your Monday, and go Blue.